Hello everyone, welcome back to another week's video. Firstly, I want to apologize for the changing scenery. You've been getting a lot of outdoorsy type videos recently, and this is a little bit different. But basically, I'm trying to record as much videos as possible before I go away to Egypt and the Middle East, and you'll see those travel videos on the channel very soon. This video though is quite an important topic. I've talked about it briefly in my reviews of the Leica that I used before, and the initial first impressions, and that is the main thing, as you can tell by the title, that I dislike about the Leica Q3. Don't get me wrong, it's still an absolute dream to use. I love the files that come out with it, and I just love the build quality, the experience, and everything like that. But there is one thing that myself and many other people that use these cameras dislike, and that is just how flat it is. This is how the Leica comes out of the box. Just completely flat, no real grip on it, and your hands can really just slide all over the place. This is not a light camera for the size. This is about 750, 790 grams out of the box. So almost a kilo in weight. And if you're holding the camera like this, without any grip, apart from a very, very slight thumb indentation there, which your thumb does not stick to at all, it can be quite daunting when you're going for the portrait shot, especially if you're holding it this way, and if you're trying to hold it that way, well, that's just really awkward. So how do Leica seem to get around that? Well, a wave of accessories really, and those accessories are extremely overpriced. That's basically what this video is about. This is my problem, and how did I resolve it? Now, there's tons of different options out there, and the first thing that I did was to buy one of these, and this is just a thumb grip from JJC off of Amazon that cost me, I think, 30 British pounds, and it slides into the hot shoe to basically give your thumb a decent bit of grip. As you can see, it's already made a big difference. Your thumb is now no longer sliding out of that indentation, making it a lot more comfortable to hold portrait and to give yourself a bit more of an ergonomic feel. This is not a pocketable camera. As much as people say that it's a light, easy to carry camera, and it is not pocketable. So the fact that they have slimmed down the design and not given it any front grip at all, I don't see the point, to be honest. I don't see their reasoning behind not having anything at all here, even if it was just something a bit more textured, because although the front of the camera is textured, not enough to stop your hands from slipping, especially if your hands get hot and sweaty when holding a camera like this all day. The next thing you could do, and something that I've done quite recently, is buy a front grip for the camera. And notice how I'm saying buy all of these times. This is the one direct from Leica. Supports wireless charging, but you need to get their wireless charging pad to do so. I've not done that. I feel like wireless charging is a gimmick, but I do like this. It's missing some features because obviously it's wireless charging. It's missing access to the SD card, missing access to the battery. This is just one plate with a grip on the side, and it screws in to the bottom of the camera. This was £200. You can buy them a lot cheaper from third parties. The reason I like this is because it's got the same texture on the actual grip that the front of the camera has. You can get a screw-in adapter here, which you can put your fingers through if you like that extra bit of security. I didn't when I was buying it, but there's that option there. Mainly, I bought it for the build quality though. It feels absolutely incredible. It does add some weight to the camera, but all it does is literally slide on like that, and you screw it in, nice and easy. Once you've screwed it in, the camera now comes how I think it should have come in the first place. You've got a nice bit of grip which can easily support the weight of the camera, and it's built a bit more proper, right? It's got a bit more of a base, so when the camera sits flat, it actually sits flat, rather than when you take this off, the camera actually droops down because it's front heavy and sits on the lens. So if you didn't have a base plate or a grip on it to balance the weight out of the back, you actually need, when you're resting your camera, to put the focus ring and this little lug on the bottom to 0.7 meters, and then the camera will then sit on the focus ring rather than sitting directly on the lens. Little things like that for a camera as premium as this, I feel like could have gone a long way. And the fact that after buying a camera at this price point, it then feels almost non-negotiable that you need at least one of these two options is a bit crazy to me. I love the camera, don't get me wrong, I'm still not bashing the camera based on its image quality or anything like that, but there's little things that I feel like needed to be in this camera to begin with. One of them, a front grip or a compatible thumb grip at the back to just make it a little bit more ergonomic. This camera out of the box is not ergonomic at all. So why is that a big problem? Well, if you are carrying your camera and you are holding it precariously over a ledge or something like that to get a shot, because we get ourselves into weird and interesting positions when taking photos, let's not deny it. And we can't always have our camera on a tight strap around us, around our necks. So what we do instead is, like me, I mainly use a wrist strap and I move the camera freely to where it needs to be. When you haven't got any of that grip and any of that support, it becomes quite a challenge to actually press the shutter and move the camera freely without a feel that it's going to slip out of your hands. That, in my opinion, isn't great for a camera of that price point. It's the only real complaint I have, to be quite honest with you, and there are tons of different options out there. I was talking about getting an actual front grip for the camera for a long time, and you guys recommended me a leather half case one, you guys have recommended me all sorts. The reason I went for the Leica one is because I walked into the Leica store and tried it out for myself. A lot of the ones that you see online you can't actually try before you buy. I was able to put it on the camera and it just worked, right? I bought this in Paris and it just worked so nicely. The grip was good. It didn't have a different texture to the camera, so it was already comfortable and already something that I'm used to. And yeah, it just felt really good and premium, which is what you want. There are tons of different options though. There are some that I'm going to link in the description. There's some really, really good ones. Some of them you can put Apple AirTags in to track your cameras if you wanted to. Some of them are leather half cases, so they protect the full body. Some of them allow you access to the battery compartment, which that one doesn't. There are all these different things. The Leica Q2 hand grip was actually something that I was going to look for getting for the Q3. We talked to the Leica representatives in Mayfair and in Paris, and they didn't have any in stock. As soon as the Q3 came out, they stopped selling the Q2 ones, and I'm very much a try before you buy sort of person. The Q2 ones have a battery slot and an SD card slot, and still slot in like this, still have that premium feel. The reason you don't on the Q3 is because of the gimmick of wireless charging. In my opinion, if they wanted to release one of these, they could have released one that didn't have wireless charging compatibility at a lower price point to allow people to access the battery and the SD card. Now for me, being able to unscrew and change the battery when I need to, or change the SD card, is a rarity anyway. It charges via USB-C, and that's mainly what I do. Unless I'm doing an actual full day of shooting, then I might swap out halfway through the day. That doesn't bother me because it is like a minute of downtime that I'll usually be doing it when I'm getting a coffee anyway. But for those people that are shooting tons and tons and tons and never want to miss a moment, that's a big deal for a lot of people. So they've missed the mark there entirely. But I can't say that I'm disappointed in that grip. It's given me a lot more security and something at first I didn't think I'd need. After I bought the thumb grip from JJC, it was something that felt so much better than the out-of-box experience that I didn't really feel like I needed anything else. And then I tried that. I tried the front grip and it changed everything. It just gave the camera more of a proper feel and really made it feel more comfortable in the hands to hold. And it was really quick to get used to. So tons of different options from Etsy, from Amazon. Um, Small Rig do their own one, and you can actually put cage around the camera if you wanted to. There are tons of different options for it, but the fact that I have to basically say that the camera is extremely hard to hold ergonomically without something like this is just a shame, to be honest. It's one of those main things that I just feel could have been improved from a design standpoint. And hopefully, if they do make a Q4, they can do it a little bit better in the future. Because even something little, a different texture, a little bump on the camera, it wouldn't affect the pocketability of the camera because it isn't pocketable. It's small, it's compact, but it's not pocketable. So making a little front grip on the camera or having a bit more of a defined thumb grip on the back, it makes all the difference from an ergonomic standpoint. Let me know what you think if you've used a Leica Q3 down below in the comments, and let me know if you feel like I'm just being over the top and, oh, you just bought a Leica, why are you complaining about paying an extra £200 for a grip? It's because I don't feel like I should. That's the main thing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the travel videos that are about to come to this channel. Biggest trip of my life. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully the videos will express that. Something that's going to happen with the videos that I'll talk to you about now, as well as when those videos release. On one week, you're going to get the talkie style walking through my shots. And on the other week, the following week, will be a non-talking, just cinematic, and then pictures thrown in between to make it more of a cinematic showcase of the trip rather than me talking through the shots and the experiences that we have. That will happen for both Jordan, where I'm going to be based for a while, and Egypt. Tons of different experiences. We're crossing off technically 2 wonders of the world on this trip as well. So hopefully pictures from those locations will be good as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.